Ozzy Osbourne moving back to England because he's fed up with mass shootings in America. Ozzy quotes, "God knows how many people have been shot in school shootings," the legendary rocker says. Oh, come on. Shut up, Ozzy. Sharon! I can't even do it. Ozzy, plus he's old as fuck and probably easy for his body while he's still alive back in the UK. Yeah, and he probably, hey, moving Dutchman, thank you for the 17 biddies. For the making a whole 100 biddies. Making a whole 100 biddies. Ozzy is a pussy. Oh my god, moving Dutchman, you are just the biggest fucking curmudgeon. I love you. You keep me pure. Moving Dutchman, you keep me pure. Okay, so let's get into this article. Ozzy Osbourne is fed up with America. The legendary heavy metal singer has revealed that he and his family are moving from Los Angeles back to his native England because of the ongoing mass shootings in the United States. By the way, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Ozzy Osbourne is dying currently. I know we're all dying currently, but he is like dying faster than most. He has some sort of disease. Everything's fucking ridiculous there. I'm fed up with the people getting killed every day. I can't do it. Never mind. God knows how many people have been shot in school shootings. And there was that mass shooting in Vegas at that concert. It's fucking crazy, Ozzy Osbourne said in a new interview with The Observer, referencing the Route 91 Harvest shooting in 2017, where nearly 60 people died. And more than 500 were injured, which there's a big conspiracy around that. Apparently there was more shooters than just one, but we're not going into that because we're a music podcast and we don't talk about anything that's not music related. Ozzy added that he's fearful of dying in America. I don't want to be buried in fucking Forest Lawn. The 73-year-old musician says of the celebrity-filled cemetery in LA. I'm English. I want to be back. But saying that if my wife said we've got to go and live in Timbuktu, I'll go. But no, it's just time for me to come home. Osbourne's wife and manager Sharon noted during the interview that America has changed so drastically. It isn't the United States of America at all. Nothing's united about it. It's a very weird place to live right now. I have to admit, I'll concur with that. Of course, he is dying faster than somebody else. It's a miracle that he's still It is. Hey, this motherfucker snorted ants, bruh. Okay? Get on Ozzy's level. This dude is a machine. The couple who celebrated their 40th wedding anniversary in July plans to sell their Hancock Park mansion in Los Angeles and move to the 350-acre Buckinghamshire estate in early 2023, according to The Observer. Ozzy is reportedly planning to build a music studio in the UK home where he mentioned the possibility of recording an album with former Black Sabbath bandmate Tony Iommi. Tony Iommi burned the tip of his fingers off. And he plays with a special fingertips or something. We should look into that. I want to know what the fuck that is now. I used to know. Hold on. Tony Iommi fingertips. Factory accident. At the age of 17, Iommi lost the tips of his middle finger and ring fingers on his right hand in an industrial accident on his last day of work in a sheet metal factory. Iommi described how he was told you'll never play again. It was unbelievable. So he uses thimbles, I believe, right? He uses thimbles with fucking leather wrapped around him. Let's try to find a video, actually, because I want to see this son of a bitch. Let's see if this talks about it. What the fuck? Do we have to like sit here and watch a video? Alright, let's see what this says. The complete story of heavy metal. Where's the big pic thing? Why can't I make this bigger? This is mod. It's mod.
I grew up in Birmingham in the Midlands, which was an industrial town, very industrial, much like your Detroit, really. I was doing welding. I actually liked the job, to be honest, but my main thing was music. Yeah, when I was, I think, probably 13 or something like that, I had my first guitar. Before that, in fact, I had an accordion. I played accordion because all my family played accordion. I met this band called the Birds and Bees, and they asked me to come and play with them. They were about to leave for Europe. So I rehearsed and was all ready for it. Right. It was my last day at work. I went home for lunch.
What a bunch of bullshit. Can you imagine your last day at work? You're about to go out on tour and shit, and fucking this happens?
I said to my mother, I'm not going to go back. And she says, you go back to work. You finish off. Don't you let them down.
Oh, it's his
When
bitch
my mother
mom's
sent me
fault.
back to work, they put me on a huge machine, a massive thing. And I didn't know how to work it. And as I was pushing the metal into the machine, it came down with such a force. And bang. And it just trapped my fingers, and as I pulled my hand back, I pulled the ends of the fingers off. There was blood going all over the place. I don't even remember how I got to the hospital when somebody arrived with my fingertips in a matchbox, and they were just, as far as the hospital was concerned, I could never play again. I was extremely depressed and very down, and the manager from the factory came to visit me at home. Really, really nice guy. And then he told me the story, of course, about Django Reinhardt, who had lost his fingers, through the fire. And it really, wow, God. And it really inspired me to really get on with it and start.
That's really cool, because Django Reinhardt was an amazing guitarist who only used these two fingers, I should say. And he was able to do fucking amazing things with two fingers. Incredible guitarist, fucking, and just fantastic, and pretty much created a whole genre of jazz music. So yeah, awesome. Hospitals are so negative. Those docs need to think more positively. I agree. Yeah, he was.
I'm trying to play because my fingers were so sensitive and painful that I got a washing up bottle and I melted it down into a ball, and then I'd sit there with this big ball on my finger of plastic. It was very difficult because you couldn't feel the strings. The strings they made in them days were very heavy, and certainly very heavy for me. I made my own sets up, and then I dropped the gauge down to make a light set of strings, and in fact that was the first official light gauge string ever made. I had to try and make whatever I could sound big because of my disabilities. I came up with another sound by tuning the guitar down. I wanted more gain, a dirty sound, more aggressive and more raw and fat.
That's so cool.
I plugged it into the bass socket of the amp, which gave it a bit more sort of oomph. And that was my sound then. Of course, losing my fingertips was devastating. But in hindsight, it created something. It made me invent a new sound and a different style of playing and a different sort of music. So really, it turned out to be a good thing off a bad thing.
But what does he use for his tips? That was some plastic bottle, but what does he use for his tips? Hold on. Fingertips. I swear to God, he uses like a thimble and like leather wrapped thimbles. Let me see. Let's look at him. Go faster, stupid. All right, let's take a better look. Look at that. Like, he has these like weird little things that go over his hand. Like, I don't even know what that is. Like, what are those things? What are these things? What's happening here? Let's look at these. Wow, look at that. And he has some like weird, look, it looks like a finger. I think they're thimbles. Finger foreskin. He does have finger foreskin, yo. Oh, balls. Oh, look at that. God damn, that sucks, bro. And I'm not Jimmy. What's the dude's name from the dead? Jerry Garcia. Jerry Garcia chopped off one of his fingers with an axe when he was a kid. Oh, God, that's crazy. Anyways, let's get back to our story here. Where is it? Boom. All right. So he wants to build a recording studio and make an album with former Black Sabbath bandmate Tony Iommi. In early August, Ozzy reunited with Black Sabbath during the 2022 Commonwealth Games in his hometown of Birmingham, England, performing alongside Iommi as well as bassist Adam Wakeman and drummer Tommy Kluftas. The iconic metal group played their 1970s classic Paranoid for a crowd of 30,000 at Alexander Stadium, which I've seen them play that live. Black Sabbath fucking murdered when I saw them. The gig was Osbourne's first show since he underwent major neck surgery earlier this summer to realign pins in his back and neck inserted after 2019 fall at home. Wow. Osbourne has also been working on solo music. His upcoming Patient Number 9 is slated to release on September 9th. Oh, look at that. And it's going to feature Chad Smith of the Chili Peppers, bassist Robert Trujillo, who's a great bassist, Eric Clapton, who everybody hates now, I guess, Pearl Jam guitarist Mike McCready, and Foo Fighters drummer Taylor Hawkins, the late, great Taylor Hawkins. Cool. I didn't know that. And then, so Ozzy has some disease. Is it some regenerative or degenerative disease? Let's see what he has. No, god damn it, I hate this video. It always plays every time. Ozzy is dying. Ozzy already sad interview. Oh, my time's going to come. Yeah, he has a fatal disease. Let's see what this is.
Ohio, we're headed to incarceration, music, and types of rock and metal with your tickets at the link. Mortality in a is mortality. Ozzy Osbourne is speaking about his mortality in a new interview with Classic Rock. Ozzy has faced a litany of different health issues over the last few years, including a major fall in his home, which left him hospitalized, an intense battle with pneumonia, and the revelation in January of 2020 that he has been diagnosed with Parkinson's. Also, back in 2003, right, Ozzy crashed on an ATV and has reportedly had lingering neck issues from that. Then during the pandemic, he was unable to perform, and now his farewell tour dates have been moved to 2023 as he continues to work on recovery from
look at his sweater. Someone knitted that sweater, so that has a little skull on it. It's just very funny to think that someone was sitting there knitting all nice and peacefully, a little skull on a sweater.
Recovery from all of those issues. You recall back in 2020, Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon appeared on Good Morning America and revealed that he had Parkinson's disease. And then he says he was first diagnosed with the variation of it back in 2003. He said at the time, "I'm not dying from Parkinson's. I've been working with it most of my life. I've cheated death so many times. If tomorrow you read Ozzy's never waking up this morning, you wouldn't go, oh my God. You'd go, well, it finally caught up with him." Then towards the end of the interview, Ozzy was asked about his mortality. He was asked if this was something that he thinks about. He wrote, "At 73, I've done pretty well. I don't plan on going anywhere, but my time's going to come." He was also asked about whether or not he would do the Osbournes again, a very interesting question, one of the best reality shows ever. He said, "I don't know, I don't regret it, but then again, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. It was real. It wasn't scripted in any way, shape, or form. And by the time year 3 came along, Sharon sat us all down and said, what do you want to do? Do you want to carry on?" And everyone just said no. The kids were doing drugs and alcohol, and I'd gone back out on the booze. When you've got a camera crew living in your house 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it gets a bit crazy.
Yeah, I bet. Man, that was a good show, though. The Osbournes were such a good show. What a fucking... Yeah, just stop touring. Just go and enjoy the end of your life, bro. Yeah, man, you know what? That's the thing about artists is art. Like, doing your art is what keeps people going. I mean, look at these old fucking artists who just live until... Like, B.B. King lived until he was, like, 90 or something, right? Fucking Ray Charles was, like, late 80s. Just touring until they died. Tour until you die. So I'm with that. I mean, I don't even want to tour now. Like, I wouldn't mind doing like a weekend run or something like that, but I don't like. Basically, Raina and I have a weekend run coming up in September. We're gonna be doing that Willitown, and we got another gig nearby, so we're gonna be running around touring. Not really, though. I guess that's what keeps Ringo. Yeah, exactly. That's what keeps those beats tight, son. Thanks again for the stickers. I got to bounce it later, everyone. Later, Naders. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. It was great to hang out, and I'm glad that you received your stickers. And I look forward to seeing your picture in the D. And I will look at it as soon as I can. I promise. Anyways, but Ozzy's fucking the shit, man. I've always been a fan of Ozzy. I mean, Black Sabbath is incredible. Fucking his solo career is incredible. I mean, Jesus Christ, Ozzy's the shit. And I don't think he might be a pussy though. He might be a pussy, Moving Dutchman. He might be a pussy. You never know. I don't know. All right, let's finish this video and get back to the article here. Or no, we
wish Ozzy all the best. I know he really wants to get out there back on that farewell tour. Hopefully next year he will be ready to do so. A lot of people say that he's being forced to perform or something.
Who's forcing Ozzy to do anything? What the fuck? Get out of here. I've been watching Hot D. You guys been watching Hot D? You guys been watching Hot D? House of the Dragon? Hot D's been killing it. I'm in. I didn't think I would like it the first episode. I turned it off. I was like, this is stupid. I'm done. And I was like, fine, I'll watch the whole thing. And by the end, I was like, oh, fuck, I'm sold. Damn it. What's fucked up, too, which I don't want to spoiler, but it's not a big part of the plot line or anything, but they kept the original music. Yeah, they kept that original music for the opening. They didn't even make a new score. They were just like, fuck it, bring in the old shit. And the opening, so I don't spoil it for you guys, it's kind of reminiscent of the original Game of Thrones series. So there, I ruined it. Okay, sure. That was the Ozzy. So I want to get into